Hello, my name is Eva Bosch Roura. I'm a PhD student here at the Department of Catalan Philology at UB, and I am a member of this group. It's not working. No. Okay, so I'm a member of this group where we study dialectology, so basically the geographical varieties of language. And of course, within those varieties, we can study language from very different perspectives. In my case, I study phonetics, which is the study of sounds. But I do not study just any sounds. I focus on the fact that for me, this is a nos, and this is a nos. And you may say, well, you pronounce those two words exactly the same, even though they're supposed to be different. And you're probably right, and that's exactly the point. I focus on the fact that for many speakers in the area of Girona, like myself, there is no such thing as an open O and a closed O. There is just one vowel O. And further than that, I focus on the fact that for many of us speakers in Girona, there isn't even a way to tell whether we're pronouncing an open O and a closed O, or even if you, the rest of the Catalan speakers, are pronouncing an open O or a closed O. There is just no distinction in perception. So, obvious question, how on earth do you write a thesis about something you cannot perceive? Well, luckily, I don't need to, because this is a study on sociophonetics. And sociophonetics uses modern phonetic methods to quantitatively analyze variation in the sounds of speech with regard to social factors. How exactly do we do that? Well, first of all, I go out there, I find speakers from Girona with specific profiles, and I interview them. I ask them to talk, and I record those interviews. Then I go home, I put those recordings into my computer, and just let it work its magic. And the magic is this. What is this? Well, this is from a recording of the word pobre, what an awesome program called Prat gives me, which is on the top, a waveform, and below that, more importantly, a spectrogram. A spectrogram is the visual representation of the energy that occur at certain frequencies over the time span of a sound signal. And why is that important for linguists? Well, if we go back to pobre and zoom in to the vowel O in there, yeah, right, thank you. Do you see those darker bands there? Can you, yeah. Okay, so the bands by the arrows, those are called formants. And formants are basically peaks of energy that occur at certain frequencies, mainly in vowels. So those formants are important. Those formants are important because they give us information about what's going on in our mouths as we pronounce sounds. And in the case of vowels specifically, we focus on F1, which is the first formant, the first band, because it tells us how much we open our mouth when we are pronouncing a vowel. And we focus on F2, the second formant, because it tells us about the position of the tongue in our mouth. So, okay, what do we do with that? Well, of course, we take those formant frequency values and we run a statistical test on them, but that's boring, so I'll show you something else. If you studied your bachelorette here in Catalonia, you must have probably heard about something called the International Phonetic Alphabet, which are these weird symbols that represent sounds and no letters, and that were in selectivitat exam, so you have seen them. And you've probably seen this too. This is a chart of the vowels of Catalan. Now, have you ever wondered why these vowels are positioned in this particular way in this chart? Well, this is because they are formants. Here's F1, and here is F2. This is a plot of the vowels. So what I do is take the vowels of my speakers, extract their formant frequency values, and plot them into a plot like this. So here's a nice plot from speakers from Western Girona. And do you see what I see? Unlike the previous slide, where there were two distinct O vowels there at your right, here we have only one beautifully merged single O vowel. So that's my hypothesis, and I love this plot. Now, why is this useful? Well, sociophonetic studies are helpful because they help us improve the way we teach languages. They are useful because they help us improve speech recognition systems. They can be helpful in the case of vowel mergers in particular because they give us a better knowledge of the relationship between a speech production and a speech perception. And they are important for general theories on language which seeing the previous entrepreneurship session, I think it's important to know as well. So thank you very much for listening, and thank you to the organizers as well.